You're live on Phoenix Radio. Welcome.
Thank you. Okay, so my name is Edwin Fahnbulleh. I've worked for the LEC for the past 7 years in different capacities, served as a manager of the General Services Department, and then I became Deputy Director for Planning, Project, and so forth. And then recently I was appointed to head the Rural Electrification Department of the LEC as Senior Manager.
Okay.
So that's the portfolio I currently hold at the LEC, which is the Liberian Electricity Corporation.
It's a pleasure having you, Mr. Fahnbulleh. Let's roll straight into business. Recently, the Liberian government set up through the LEC a team on power theft. You mind telling us more about that?
Yes, so power theft has been a major challenge for many years, not even recently, within even Monrovia and the various counties. We have the cross-border counties that include Maryland, where you guys are now, Grand-Jide. We also have power in Nimba, and those power come from the Ivory Coast. We've been battling serious issue with power theft. The LEC, through the Monrovia grid, we're losing up to $48 million every year just from power theft, from just illegal people connected to the lines and other stuff. So the president of Liberia passed a mandate that going forward, and then also set up a task force that we should make sure we cut power theft massively. Because most of the power that we're getting from the cross-border side, the power comes from Ivory Coast, and that's not free power. The LEC has to pay for that power. And then therefore, if LEC as a government entity has to pay for it, the people who are consuming the power should also pay for that power. But that is not the case, with many of our customers who just want to get the power free. So the president set up a task force headed by our CEO, Mr. Money Captain, who is now our acting CEO, and then co-chair by Madam Mirabroad. And the instruction is that we do not care who you are, what positions you hold, because the president even mandated, even he himself, if his lines are on power theft, we should cut it off. So that particular activity has started. And it is not only for Monrovia, it's nationwide. But because Madam Bro may not be able to touch most of the counties, so we who have the responsibility of managing those counties, we have been instructed through Madam Bro that we make sure we carry on the same activities that is happening in Monrovia with the massive disconnections of everyone, those who are not legally paying for the power, to disconnect them. So that issue has also been extended to Maryland through my office, and then Grand-Jide, that I'm currently controlling into Grand Cape County and Bomi, where we just connected to the national grid.
Now, Mr. Fahnbulleh, we've had someone down here who served as caretaker for maybe 8 years now. He's personally invested in the system, and by now people should be seeing him as some regional manager or something of the sort. What are you doing about Mr. Dennis's case? Because recently we had a sort of fictitious company which tried to come over and just sideline him or something of the sort. What are you doing? What are you saying about Mr. Wadi Dennis?
So as we speak, in fact, yesterday my office appointed Mr. Wadi Dennis, because that's definitely within my scope of operation. We appointed Mr. Wadi Dennis as a regional manager for Maryland County. And until the process that is now ongoing for the franchising of that grade, this same issue of we not getting money out of the grid, and we have to be paying money to the Ivorian every month for the power that comes through the two border towns, which is in Maryland and Grand-Jide, led LEC to now start looking for people to come and manage the grid, so that people can pay for the electricity. So not in the distant future, once that process is over, that group will be coming to Maryland. But as we speak, Mr. Dennis is now in full control of the network through my office, and he's the regional manager that was just appointed, I think, 2 days ago. Yeah, certainly he's been doing a very good job. And as you admit, sometimes when when you have these challenges wherein the LEC transfer her responsibility to a citizen, he made sure that that particular system is being kept alive, because we know a couple of years ago, since the power came in there was some time there was no presence of the LEC, and we heard that Mr. Dennis went all out to make sure that the power stays on, which of course is good. We commend him, and because of that, I recommended that we keep him there as the regional manager until the process of this franchising can be completed. And then even when that happens, if there is any company that is coming in there, definitely Mr. Dennis will play a key role, because he understands the network. And then LEC will not just turn the gray over to anybody who's going to control or run it and turn her back. LEC presence will still be there because the access and the network belongs to us. So even if we give it to you as franchise, our presence will still be there to know exactly what you're doing, what you're extending the line, how the access is being utilized. So far so good. I think Mr. Dennis has done a good job, and we just ask him to keep doing it until we can fix all of the problems.
Okay, fix all of the problems. This would mean collecting bills. From all indications, the collection of bills is a challenge because there are no meters. This has been a serious problem for Mr. Dennis, especially over the past 6 to 7 or 8 years. When are you going to start deploying meters and maybe improving the system in Maryland County, especially in the Hopper District area?
Yes, like we said, I think you know that there's a massive project been going on within the Plebo area, all the way extending into Fishtown. Is it River G County?
Right.
Yes. So and then they are putting in meters and other stuff. But like I rightly said, we've putting things together, and there may be a company that will come in the future, not in the too distant future, to take over the grid. And one of their mandate will be to make sure that they meet every customers. But as it is now, whatever fees being charged for people to pay, people just have to pay, because we do not want to start disconnecting people, putting them into darkness. I've been actually speaking to a lot of the hierarchy from the county. I've spoken to the superintendent. I've spoken to the senator. I've even met a couple of other senators from the county, and we're still trying to see how best we can help strengthen the grid and make sure that it serves the people of Maryland County. I have a very soft part for Maryland. Maybe many people don't know. My mother actually hailed from Maryland County. She's from the Kavala. Yes, she's from the Kavala area. The late Mother Mary Ann Brownell, Councilor Nettie C.A. Brownell was my grandfather. So I have a deep root in Maryland. So I have to make sure that everything in Maryland go on smoothly. But again, our people just have to make sure that they pay the little that we ask them to pay to keep the grid on. Mr. Dennis has been asked that if the people don't pay, and like we said, we're carrying on this power thing across the country. That's a mandate given to us by the president. So it's not only monitoring, and we have disconnected senior government officials, very powerful people. Once you're not paying your bills, you'll be disconnected,
including the Speaker of the House.
Well, I don't want to speak to that, but again, as you hear in the news, whoever you are, and like I said, even the president say he himself, if he's not paying bill, we should disconnect him. So nobody is above that mandate. You can be whoever. If you not pay your bills, Mr. Dennis and his team will disconnect you. Because and let's be fair. I work for LEC as a senior manager. I've been in the LEC for 7 years. But guess what? I pay bills. I spend not anything less than $150 every month to keep my house on.
Now, let's look at the tariffs and the rates for Maryland County, not all the other parts outside of Monrovia. I know that for now there are no meters here, but eventually there's going to be meters, and all that. Is it going to be the same as the Monrovia area?
Certainly not. The cross-border electricity is a little bit cheaper than what is being sold in Monrovia. So those are all of the formalities that have to be in place with everything clearly spelled out to whoever is going to come to manage that place along with our team on the ground. So these are some of the issues that are probably creating some of the delay why nobody have come in there to do XYZ. But certainly you can rest assured that the tariff is going to be lower than what you have in Monrovia. And definitely I know there will be a prepay system wherein you go to the vending side, you buy your electricity, you put it on. But again, the reason why we are encouraging people to pay, because when the guys take over, maybe in the next 3 months, 5 months, we don't know yet because it's still being worked on at the highest level. Once that happens, you have to be clear before you will be connected and given a meter when the people come in there to to straighten it up. But if you owe in bills, let's say for the past 3-4 years you have not paid no electricity bill, it means that it's going to be difficult for the people to connect you, and they might be charging you some fees. So Mr. Dennis and myself had discussion. In fact, I wanted for people to start paying from 2019. He said no. He talked to me. Oh, chief, we have to do it this way. Our people don't have the money. So he has asked that we start from 2020. So all those who owe in 2020 to 2022, all right, we need to clear everything. And if you are not clear, in fact, the mandate that I got from my bosses was that by December 1st. But again, Mr. Dennis appealed to my office, asking that we extend it to January 1st, that it should be cleared, and then we start. If you are paying just $10 every month, just make your contribution. Just do your payment. The receipt will be kept. The information will be sent to us, and it will be passed on to management or so.
One last question on the issue of a substation for this region or this area. I don't know what you are aware, but the guys who earlier did the supervision from LEC actually did not do a good job down here. And to add on that, there's not a substation. And then you have this issue wherein Mr. Dennis and his guys have to always be, running up to Ivory Coast whenever there's a shutdown or a trip or something of the sort. Are you considering that?
Yes. So again, like I said, because of power theft, the LEC, the government of Liberia is losing a lot of money. I think from the onset of the interview, I said we're losing close to $50 million, $48 million every year just from power theft. All right. So it means that we do not have the capital to be able to invest to improve the system. So this is one of the things again that even anticipated this whole idea of trying to franchise the grid. So the people who are coming there, all of these things are going to be put into the agreement, finalized, that if you're going to take over the grid, you have to make sure you strengthen the grid so that the people of Maryland get quality power. Because as we speak right now, the lines come all the way from, I think, Ban, all the way coming into Maryland. And you are right. The farther electricity travels, it loses its strength and quality. And then whenever there's a fault, you have to go to the Oregon. You have to start calling people from maybe the Africa South. So once we put all of those systems in place, I know that those guys are going to put some significant investment in there to make sure that those systems are improved, that our people in Maryland get quality power.
What about logistics for now? Even though there are plans to have someone take over, but for now, the guys on the ground lack logistics.
Again, like I said, the company is highly challenged. Logistics and other things come with finance. If you want to buy a vehicle to put it out there, you want to buy some transformers, you want to buy motorbikes, you need resources. A 50 kVA transformer costs almost $7,000. Now, if the LEC believe that she's not getting the kind of money that she needs to get from Maryland, how do we now buy logistics and other things to put into Maryland? So this is why we need to do our little contribution. If we're doing our little contribution as citizens of Maryland, paying our $10, our $15, our $20, then we're able to reinvest into the grid. But as we speak right now, we're working on a lot of things, to make sure that the guys who are managing the grid up there have some level of logistics to be able to respond to all of these different challenges and so forth. Like I said, I'm in constant communication with the authorities of the county, and my thing is that we want to improve the quality of service even before the guys who come in to run it gets there.
Anything else you want to add before we drop this line?
Yes, I just want to say again, if I could speak a gribble like my mom used to say, "Na fledi," you know, yes, to our people, to our people in Maryland. I hope to visit Maryland very soon, maybe in the heat of the dry season, in February, and then we'll be able to have some discussions. We are doing expansion within the Plebo belt very soon. Our people will be up there to make sure that we turn the power on. But we're just appealing to our people, please cooperate with the regional manager, who is Mr. Dennis. Let's pay our bills. What are you, the county officials or so? This is a national mandate that we have to pay our bills. Because if we do not pay our bills, the Ivorians could turn us off one day and the whole country go in darkness. So we need to pay our bills. Even if it's $10, just make sure if you owe in, you can go to Mr. Dennis' office, have an arrangement, say, look, Mr. Dennis, since you have a bill that we pay for 2 years or so, I'll be able to pay for 6 months, and then we will do it gradually until we can get it done. But we have to pay our bills. We have to pay our bills. We have to start gaining something from Maryland so we can take that same money and reinvest in Maryland before whoever coming to take over can take it over. All right? But we need to make sure that everyone pay their bills. And Mr. Dennis has been instructed through my office to disconnect anyone who do not want to cooperate. And let me repeat, there is no 2 LEC in Maryland County. There is one LEC that is owned by the government of Liberia that is being ran by the LEC in Monrovia. So we have statutory mandate over those counties. Mr. Dennis has all the authority to exercise LEC's function in the county. So we need to give him the respect. We need to make sure that he's respected. His job is being done. He's reporting back to us. My engineer, who's assigned in the county, will be there in December, the first week in December, and then whatever feedback that we get, we'll be able to get it. So far, so good. I want to say a big thank you to you guys for reaching out to me, to Mr. Dennis and his crew. Continue the good job. We definitely have your back, and we'll make sure that everything is in place so that our people enjoy the quality of services that they will be getting, and then also let's make sure that they can pay for it. Learn how to start paying for your bills now, because you don't want tomorrow of a private company that comes there and then you start having issues.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edwin Fahnbulleh.
You're highly welcome. You're highly welcome.
Okay, that's the LEC